Hey guys, it's Shell the Spiritual Warrior here, and we are still discussing the mind. Today, we'll be discussing perfectionism. Perfectionism is something that a lot of people suffer from, and yes, I say suffer from, because perfectionism is a lie, first of all, right? It's impossible, and you only become further upset when you realize that you're not perfect. Anything that really does not align with who you really are, it only causes you anxiety. It only causes you decision paralysis. It only causes you to attempt to be perfect, and you're not. And once you realize you're not, it's actually kind of upsetting. I'm not gonna lie. And it's only upsetting. It's not so much upsetting that you realize that you're not perfect. It's more so upsetting that you realize other people know that you're not perfect. Why? Because they can see you. They're looking at you. And that's not really something that you can hide. It's not something anybody can hide because nobody's perfect. But perfectionism is born out of circumstances. And I'll tell you mine. When I was younger, I grew up with an older sister, and my older sister, she lived a fast life. I don't really know. I don't know how to describe it. Either way, she lived a life that my parents didn't necessarily agree with. She's about 4 years older than me, so I really looked up to her when she went through high school, and I just kind of watched her when she entered into adulthood. And I realized that my parents were not really agreeing with the decision that she was making, and it hurt them. And I saw that it hurt them. And so as I grew up, it made me not want to be anything less than perfect. It made me not want to be another tear in my parents' eyes. So perfectionism is something that I didn't consciously know that I was developing, but because I felt the pressure, and no real pressure put on by my parents, but just from what I was observing, I felt the pressure to really not make a mistake. And I learned to, not even learn to, but when I did make a mistake, I felt so much shame about making a mistake that I hid it. And that I didn't want help in anything, because I just wanted to seem like I had it all together. I didn't want my parents to worry. And that was something that took me a really long time to get over. It's still something to this day that I have to catch myself in. And realize from what place I'm trying to think from what lens I'm looking through. And the issue with looking through a lens where you feel like you have to be perfect is that you'll inevitably be let down. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. And that realization, it was freeing, but before it was freeing, it hurt. For mine to have worked to be that way and to hide mistakes and feel the shame of it and all that for so long, only to be realized that I'm not perfect, which is actually kind of ridiculous, because nobody is perfect. But sometimes we just get that sense that maybe we can be, or maybe we can pretend to be long enough that nobody is hurt, at least in my case, so that my parents weren't hurt. But really, the idea of being perfect, it really put me in a box. It put me in a box of experiences. It kept me in my comfort zone way longer than I desired to be there, because I didn't want to make a mistake. I didn't want to fail, especially not publicly. And it was a struggle. It was definitely a struggle. But it was one of those things that, once I let myself off the hook for not being perfect, because I'm not, and allow myself to make a mistake and realize that making mistakes are a part of life, I was able to live. I'm able to live. I'm able to do this, which is something that I would have, you know, never done in the past, because I would just care too much. What if I fail? Oh my gosh. So what? Nobody really cares. Honestly, nobody really cares. They're so worried about their own lives that they're not really checking for your failure. And if they are checking for your failure, it's because they're probably too scared to jump out and do whatever you just did. That's just the way that it goes. That's I won't say unfortunately human nature. It's just human nature. It's not, I won't say it's fortunate or unfortunate. It just is what it is. It's an observation that I've made as I've grown and learned different things and applied different things. So, like I said, let yourself off the hook. Perfection doesn't get you anywhere, or the idea of needing to be perfect, it doesn't get you anywhere. It really just puts you in a box. You're so much more than that. You're so much more than that thing that you have. Vogue? I don't that thing the box. You're much more than the personality that you put in a box and you said, look guys, this is me. It's not you. It's just what you made up because you thought it was better than who you are. There's nobody better than who you are. I feel like a Dr. Seuss quote should come out, but I don't have one. You are the youiest you that there's, I don't know. But there's nobody better than you. Not only is there nobody better than you, but you can't go where you want to go in life by trying to be something that you're not. It just doesn't work that way. Perfectionism, throw it out the window. Who cares? Perfect people aren't that fun anyway, right? No one really wants to watch perfection. They like life. We like life. So live it. You can't live it perfect. So, but don't let that stop you. Live it anyway. So I hope that this was helpful. I'm not even sure if these thoughts were organized. They probably weren't. But I hope you enjoyed the story. I hope that that you could take something away from it and keep growing. It's a part of life. Love is the answer. Peace, guys.